What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we are going to be talking about a formation that could be one of the best in the game, and not a lot of people are actually talking about it, and that is going to be the 5-2-1-2. Now, before people jump on me for saying, don't be a defensive prick, you park the bus, you're ugly and I hate you, I'm here to say that just because certain formations may look defensive or attacking, does not mean they actually are defensive or attacking. If you look at Arsenal in real life, on paper, they actually have a 3 at the back system, but then everyone knows that because their defenders are not that great, they actually defend quite a bit. And so this formation, the 5-2-1-2, is actually an attacking 5 at the back formation. So this is what the formation looks like. You have obviously the 5 at the back, the 2 center mids, the center attacking mid, and then the 2 strikers. Now the thing that's interesting about this formation is that while it is good, you do need specific players in the majority of these positions. You can't just kind of throw in anyone you want and expect it to work. You do need a specific type of role for certain specific positions. So first things first, I'm going to talk about the tactics. Now the tactics overall are something that you guys just kind of need to adjust because that's kind of a personal preference thing, right? Now you could say the same thing about instructions, but what makes them different is that tactics are, again, more of a personal preference about how you want to go about things. Instructions are about where you want your players to kind of position themselves on the field, whereas tactics are more about how you want to play. Do you want to go fast? Do you want to go slow? Do you want to do constant pressure? Do you want to drop back? All those kinds of things. So that's kind of on you guys. But there is a couple of things I do want to address, and one of them is the defensive width. So because there are 5 players at the back, you are afforded the luxury of going a little bit more narrow because you obviously have the 3 center backs and then you have the left and right wing backs who are a little bit wider. Offensive style is another thing that I wanted to talk about. I would probably not do fast build-up, mainly because you are most likely going to get counterattacked very easily if you lose the ball. Because like I said, the left and right wingbacks in this formation and the way you want to play it, which is attacking, are going to be pushing up the field. So let's say you do have a fast build-up, and again, everyone's bombing forward, your 2 center mids, your center attacking mid, your 2 strikers, your left and right wing backs, and you lose the ball, you literally only have the 3 center backs. Like, you don't even have any midfield support, not a center mid, not a defensive mid, no one on the wings. So then because of the somewhat lower width, you also could get burned down the wings as well, which then if you have to drag a center back to one of those wings, it's going to open up the middle. So again, I would recommend not doing fast build-up because it could easily leave you susceptible to a counterattack. And the last thing is going to be offensive width. Now, because this is a bit of a narrow formation through the middle, right? There's not inherently any left and right wingers or anything like that. You don't want to go too narrow here because then the 2 strikers, center attacking mid, 2 center mids, they could be a little bit bunched up. But I personally want to go just a tiny bit more narrow so then the left and right wing backs can push in a little bit more and be a little bit more involved. Now on to the instructions and the type of players you should be buying for this formation. So first things first, center backs, just leave them all unbalanced. The main thing here, and they're kind of 2 small things, but one of them is, if you have faster center backs that are, a little bit faster than others, have them on the outside. So, Teo Hernandez is obviously very fast. De Ligt is faster than Skriniar. So I have them on the outside. The reason being is that if you do manage to get counterattacked and your left and right wing backs are, a little bit forward and they're not helping out defensively, if they go out to the wing, then you have these left and right center backs who are a little bit quicker and they can drop back a little bit faster and hopefully stop the counterattack. That's something I would recommend. The other thing is to have a left-footed player on the left side and a right-footed player on the right side. That one's not as important, but it's just something to prevent the attacking players from intercepting the ball. If you have a right-footed player on the left side trying to pass to the left wing back, the pass is going to be towards the middle of the field. It's going to angle itself towards the middle of the field, towards the attacker, rather than outwards and towards your left wing back. So again, it's a smaller thing, but it just may help prevent some, dumb passes and perhaps a dumb goal that you may concede. Next up are the left and right wing backs, and these are very important positions on the field. I have them on balanced, normal interceptions, but then the run type is on inverted. The reason why I have them on inverted is because they tend to go a little bit more narrow. Now, inverted means, if you look here, they make underlapping runs on the inside of wide players for more central support. Now, there are no wide players, right? So they are just going to be a little bit more narrow for that central support. Now, they're not going to go so far in that, you know, Tellez, for example, is going to be on the inside of Gozens. They're not going to be that far in because Gozens and Nainggolan, those two center mids, are central players. Now, let's say if you were to bring Gozens out wide to the left mid spot, then Tellez would be running on the inside of him. Because, again, Gozens is out wide. But because you're not out wide, they're not going to be running on the inside, and it's not going to be congested. So you're fine. You don't have to worry about that. In terms of the players you want, you kind of need these guys to be able to do it all. Now, in terms of shooting, you might be able to give a little bit here, but you still want them to be able to shoot. In fact, Tellez has gotten multiple chances from me. Jesus Corona has actually gotten 2 goals and an assist in the 5 or 6 games that I've played, and genuinely could have been more if it wasn't for Luis Alberto's weak foot. So again, you know, you want them to be able to do it all. You want them to have high stamina because they're going to be running up and down the wings. You want them to be able to defend since they are technically defenders. You want them to be able to shoot the ball occasionally because, again, they're going to be in those attacking spots. Let's say I have the ball with Corona running down the wing. I pass it on the inside to Nainggolan, inside to Gozens. Tellez is going to be open on that wing. He's always going to be open on that wing. Same thing if it's from left to right. Jesus Corona is always going to be open on that wing as well. So you do need to be able to have them shoot the ball. You need them to be pacey, good at passing, good at crossing. Essentially, you need them to be a very all-around complete player. And that brings me to the center mids, which is a very similar type of player to the wingbacks. You need these guys to also be able to kind of do it all. You need them to be able to shoot, defend, have high work rates, great stamina, something like that, so then they can run forward and run back, similar to left and right wingbacks, running down the wings and running back. Now, for the instructions on the center mids, I have them both on stay back while attacking and cover center. Now, cover center, because we obviously have left and right wingbacks, we don't need to worry about that. But I do have them on stay back while attacking because they are center mids. They're already further up the field. Occasionally, I still have to bring them back to defend, so keep that in mind when you are defending. You will have to occasionally bring back your center mids because they're, again, center mids, not defensive mids. But I also don't want them on balanced, for example, because then they're going to be pushing forward, and then if you do get countered, there's going to be no support in that midfield. Along with that, when I mention the instructions for the center attacking mid, the 2 strikers, I'll get more depth when we get there, but those guys are going to be pushing forward. So let's say we have the ball on the wing with Jesus Corona or Alex Tellez. We need someone to be able to cut the ball inside to if the cross is not open. If Nainggolan is unbalanced and he's running forward and we have the ball on the wing with Jesus Corona and there's no one to cross the ball to, in Nainggolan's in the box, there's no one to cut the ball back to either. So Corona is just stuck out on that wing. You essentially just kind of have to cross the ball in and then hope for something good to happen. And as I mentioned with the left and right wingbacks, these 2 center mids are very important to have. So in my opinion, left and right wingbacks, 2 center mids are probably the most important players to get, especially in terms of ability and who you actually want in those spots. Finally, we have the attacking trio here, and I know that Luis Alberto is technically a cam. He plays in the center attacking mid position, but we have him on stay forward. So he will occasionally be making runs forward behind Gomez and behind Immobile. Let's say I pass the ball to Gomez and there's no one to really pass to. I hold the ball up with Gomez and Alberto can make a run in behind. So for the types of players that you want here, yes, you still want the playmaker. Alberto has easily the best passing on the team. He has amazing passing in general, but you still want him to be able to shoot. Personally, I have a hunter on him, so his shooting gets increased and his pace gets increased. So then if he finds himself in a shooting position, which is going to be somewhat often, at least more often than a standard center attacking mid, then he's going to have those capabilities to finish. Finally, we have our 2 strikers here, and both of them are going to be on stay forward, and that's mostly because of Luis Alberto here. Obviously, we want our strikers to be the main guys shooting the ball. That's why they are our strikers. So if we don't have them on stay forward while Luis Alberto is on stay forward, that means Luis Alberto is going to be making those runs in behind. He's going to be getting forward more than our strikers, which is not obviously something we want because, again, we want our strikers, who are the best at shooting the ball, to shoot the ball the most often, right? So it obviously makes sense to have these guys both on stay forward so then they can stay ahead of Luis Alberto. Now I do have Gomez on the default attacking runs while I do have Immobile on get in behind. The reason for that is because Gomez is obviously very good on the ball and he can distribute very well, whereas Immobile, who is incredible at shooting, he's not the best on the ball, and his passing does leave a little bit to be desired. So I do want him on getting behind just so then he doesn't have to be on the ball as much and he doesn't have to pass the ball as much. So, you know, someone like Dybala here instead of Immobile would be very, very good. Now, personally, I still love Immobile. I think he's a great striker. But in my opinion, someone like Dybala, I think, could be really, really good here because all of them, the attackers, the center attacking mid and two strikers, they could all pass, they could all dribble, they could all shoot. So that is going to do it for this instructions video, guys. Again, even though it is a 5 at the back formation, you do have your left and right wing backs pushing forward and bombing forward. They're going to be in the attack, they're going to be able to get assists, and if you have good shooting on them, they will also get goals. So keep that in mind, right? Even though it's 5 at the back, it's an attacking formation. So if you do have any questions over it, let me know and I will try to answer them in the comments. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been DMG. Peace.